What's going on, Nitro Gang? This is a premium RallyCross Buggy. I bet you're asking yourself, what is a premium RallyCross Buggy? Well, I got the perfect answer for you. That's why I wound up buying this for the channel. Take a look at HPI's original product promo on this buggy, then we will come back, fire up this insane LRP32, and take a nice close look. What exactly is a premium RallyCross Buggy? The HPI Pulse 4.6 RallyCross Buggy. Just picked this up for the channel because it's weird, it's interesting, it's got a giant LRP32 Spec 4 motor. But one weird thing, I know you're all yelling at me through the screen right now. What the hell is that? Well guys, I'm giving you an overview of exactly how I purchased this buggy. Not all of the decisions that you're going to see on this chassis were made by me. I am simply a connoisseur of vintage sickening nitros, and I buy them as they are and show them to you as I purchase them. This particular model came out in 2011. It was originally bundled with a 4.6 engine, which is really what they call the high output engine for the regular HPI Savages. This is a relatively rare model, and I have almost never seen these for sale. We're gonna take the body off in a little bit and take a look at it. This one does have the nice upgraded Duratrax lockup wheels, standard 17mm hubs. In the front, we do have aluminum big bore oil-filled shocks, but they are not threaded bodies. Suspension is quite good for a buggy, in my opinion. Let's take the body off and take a look at the chassis itself. You know what? Taking the body off is not that easy because of this damn air filter. I guess the previous owner thought, why not do a little bit of a cold air ram air style intake? Well, I'm sorry, bro. This is not a freaking Audi. This is a Nitro. Can't give it a cold air intake like this, or whatever you want to call it. Basically trash. I'm only keeping it on for now for demonstration purposes. Even taking the body off tough. Look at that. Guy's trying to kill his own Nitro. It's okay. We're going to make this one great again. Well, there it is. You're looking at premium RallyCross in its most essential. And technically, it looks like a regular buggy, okay? That's what I wanted to tell you guys. I don't want to spoil it. I think HPI was blowing some smoke up their customers' behinds, if you know what I'm saying. In fact, this doesn't even really look that premium to me. I see an aluminum upper battery tray, which is normal. We have a center differential, typical normal buggy stuff. The chassis brace or stiffener is not even aluminum. Same goes for the front, plastic all around. Really don't see what they meant by the term premium. The pipe is not original on this motor. Might have been actually polished, so who knows. I think these originally would have been regular black colored pipes. Honestly, I don't see anything premium or rally on this chassis at all. The fuel tank, I did check the fuel system. It has a very good vacuum. Nothing has been broken on it so far. Rear suspension, pretty good. Pretty good. But you really can't judge a buggy based on suspension. All buggies have above average compared to Arma shocks. That means they don't leak right out of the box. Okay, that was an Arma joke there. I hope some of you guys liked it. If you didn't, well, I'm sorry, okay? Some nice aluminum parts there on the top. Average thickness shock towers, nothing crazy. The chassis, it's a basic buggy chassis. Pretty nice open access to the flywheel, which is nice because this is actually a, well, this is bump box only. Motor in this thing is an incredible LRP32 Spec 4. This originally would have been the ready-to-run motors. You could see these retail for about $195 on A-Main, and they normally come with the pull start. This one has been converted to a backplate, meaning we're gonna have to use a starter box. Some interesting chassis features include only one mudguard on the rear suspension arm. The other one seems to be missing. By interesting, I mean I'm pretty upset over it because I kind of like these things. I wish we had a second one, but we don't. We do have adjustable front and rear brake bias, typical buggy type stuff here. Not a bad steering servo for an HPI, the SB5, a pretty powerful steering servo. The top throttle servo is an SF10W, one of the worst ever, guaranteed to give you trouble or a runaway. Whatever you have first, trouble or a runaway, depending how you look at it. I gotta say, guys, I do like the color combination on this buggy. The more modern HPIs, especially the 3.5, use more of a red and black color scheme. I like the HPI orange. Kind of suits it, you know? We have the awesome starter box ready. This particular one is running a single 3S LiPo. So let me tell you the story behind this starter box. Check out the Tamiya connectors. Originally, I got this from the seller with two Traxxas regular 1800 battery packs. And it makes sense. He probably couldn't fire it up because this is an insane compression, LRP32. You really need to run LiPo power in these starter boxes. I did try to charge up the stock Traxxas battery packs, and I'll tell you guys, within about 20 seconds, it overheated. And that was with a proper preheat and removing the glow plug about a half to a 3/4 of a turn. So now, we got ourselves some LiPo power for the starter box. I've connected my own radio because, as usual, used nitros that sellers try to kill do not come with radio gear, or it comes with radio gear that is busted. This came with busted radio gear. Throttle servo seems to work. Check out the stock HPI steering servo. These, I gotta tell you, man, HPI needs to really switch to their SB5 servo on all of their Savages. This is a truly savage servo. The only problem I'm having is something with the brake linkage. When I apply the brake, I have literally no brake travel. I'm not sure whether the servo's faulty. I've done what I can do by removing the linkage itself, the servo horn, and the servo does move in normal brake position, but it seems to either be jammed or somehow locked up. So this needs a little bit further investigation. It's possible the linkages here are just too stressed, because I could already tell the arm itself for the brake linkage is already too much of an angle. Needs to have a little bit of adjustments. Basically, when I press brakes all the way, we got nothing. But the throttle works. For a little bench test, this should be just good enough for the job. Obviously, when I go run it in real life, I will remove this most horrendous RB Innovations terrible air filter. You'd be surprised, guys, how many times I've seen people run these filters. And usually, of course, they do not do a good job on filtering the small dust particles. Also, they are not oiled. One of the main functions of an air filter is to really trap the fine dust and dirt and attract it to the oil in the element. So here, there's no oil, there's nothing. This is basically for motorcycle applications, maybe some kind of breathers or a PVC positive crankshaft ventilation systems in cars where they're not exposed to a massive amount of dirt. Here, you could tell there's a good amount of, well, what looks like clay. I've washed some of it, but still, if you go over the chassis, there are elements here by the hinge pins that I was not able to wash out. So hopefully We do have an insane sickening compression motor here. I will tell you the compression is very good. I am having a very hard time spinning the flywheel over with my finger. Let's preheat it and well, fire it up. So far I have loosened the glow plug about half of a turn off video. I have the buggy sitting on the starter box. This is already a perfect fit because I know the pegs were already adjusted to fit the chassis and access to the flywheel for this particular buggy. This is going to require some time to preheat this. And we'll fire it up, do a little bit of a small overview on this chassis. By the way, this wing is not from this body. Obviously it says Mugen Seiki. Well, that's because the seller did not give me a wing. I had to use my own wing. Well, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to wish me some major luck on this endeavor. Glow plug is out, it's preheated. Let's prime it. We have yellow fuel lines, so legit the worst fuel lines ever, but I don't have any other fuel lines. Let me prime it and then we will try to fire it up. All right, I saw the flywheel spin over. Let's hope for the best. Can't tell if it's even primed correctly because like colorful fuel lines. I always say don't get colorful fuel lines. So this is why. Oh yeah. It's a rider. That was weird. That was weird. Pretty sure the throttle trim is correctly set. It's weird. It was doing a little bit of a high throttle there. Let me lock it up there. Oh yeah, the glow plug unscrewed itself while I was doing it. But that was bad. Let's try this again. Let's put the glow plug back. Oh, can't even spin over the flywheel with the glow plug all the way out. Can't even spin the flywheel over now. Going to have to undo the plug again. That's a problem when you get crazy compression kill you motors, you know. Can't even fire them up normally after. Alright, so far the idle is good. We take it off from here. Sickening. Alright. What do we got? We got a nice running Nitro. Motor seems to have idled down correctly now. LRP32, guys. You gotta get one. Nice and rich. Oh, thing is even tougher to turn off than it is to fire up. Motor needs a little bit of tuning. This is going to be a beast. We're going to test out HPI's claim of what they mean by RallyCross. I hope you enjoyed this video. I bought this quite sickening vintage HPI specifically for the channel. While people are out there spending money and testing and killing and breaking Armas, those electric crawlers, the Nitro gang here is out spending money making Nitros great again. I want to say special thanks to all of my viewers, channel members, and Patreon supporters. Please consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon supporter and help me make more Nitros great again. Now, there will be a lot more on this particular Nitro. As soon as I figure out the brakes, then we can go and take it on a safe test drive. You want to see some armors getting killed? This is not the channel for that. This is the channel for sensible adults and good people in general. See you guys later. If you smell what the Nitro gang is cooking.
She say she wanna dance, but she don't know how to.